Thank you for watching Scary Animal Attacks. If you like this episode, please remember to hit the like button and leave a comment or two, then subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we release new episodes. Welcome back to Scary Animal Attacks. Today's episode takes us to one of the world's most beautiful settings, Victoria Falls on the Zambezi River in Zambia in South Africa. Victoria Falls straddles the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe and is the widest waterfall in the world at 1,708 meters in length, while falling 108 meters. Before the falls, the Zambezi River flows over a broad, flat basalt sheet surrounded by sandstone bluffs. Tree-crowded islands dot the river, with their frequency increasing closer to the falls. On land around the banks of the river you may find lions, giraffes, elephants, zebras, hiding under the acacia trees or amongst the giant thorns of the whistling thorn bushes. But the most dangerous animals that make the Zambezi their home is not a land animal, but one that hunts in the murky currents, the saltwater crocodile. On December 6, 2021, 18-year-old Amelie Osburn Smith was enjoying her gap year vacation, which is the semester or year before starting college, as a reward for completing her high school courses. Typically, Europeans spend their gap year traveling, volunteering, working, or interning, and Amelie was spending hers backpacking and whitewater rafting the Zambezi River. You can imagine the trepidation in her parents' minds when discussing her going to such a wild and dangerous place. Amelie was a generous and happy young lady with a disarming smile that made her fast friends with everyone she met. Her home was Andover, Hampshire, UK. She was traveling on the day in question with her friend, whom we will call David. David and Amelie had contracted with the Bundu Rafting Company out of the nearby town of Livingston, which had been operating near Victoria Falls since 1996 and had a good safety record. The stretch of the river after the falls is an amazing mix of exhilarating rapids interspersed with wide, flat sections of the river that allow rafters to bask in the sun, swim, and play. The rafters had reached such a stretch, and Amelie decided to cool off by dipping her feet over the side of the raft and into the cool water. The river guides were splashing and having fun along with David and the other rafters. Amelie was laughing and chatting with the others when she felt something brush against her feet under the water. As she glanced down, she could see the splashing tail of an enormous saltwater crocodile. Before she had any time to react, she felt an enormous burst of speed and then the cool water surrounding her. The croc sunk its teeth into her lower right leg, just above her ankle, and held it fast. He was pulling her deeper into the river with each second that passed. Her lungs ached for fresh air as the seconds crept by while she was underwater. As she splashed a few feet from the raft, everyone in the boat rushed to her aid. David jumped into the water and began punching the croc in the nose repeatedly. The guide also attacked the crocodile and worked as a distraction. Amelie's female friend grabbed her by the life jacket and refused to let her go, tugging against the submerged predator. As the rafters teamed up on the croc, the struggle began to wear the reptile down. After only a few seconds, it released Amelie's leg and disappeared into the froth of the river. Her friends pulled her aboard the raft and were horrified by the condition of her leg. They immediately navigated to the shore and laid her near a small boulder. Her friend told her not to look at her legs, and she replied she didn't care if they amputated her legs, overflowing with gratitude to be alive after the attack. Her leg was gashed open where the teeth of the croc clamped onto it. The bones of her ankle and foot were broken severely as well, and she was losing blood quickly. Her right hip was also pulled out of socket by the force of the croc jerking her off the raft. Initially, the rafters could not get a cell signal on their phones, so the rafting company called for emergency professionals and administered first aid as best they could while waiting. Amelie was flown by helicopter, after waiting 45 minutes, to the hospital in Lusaka, a few hundred miles away. For several days, medical professionals watched closely for any sign of infection to appear, as they may have to amputate a portion or all of her leg if it developed. COVID travel restrictions at the time in Zambia restricted her from leaving the country, but she eventually was flown to the UK and received treatment from specialists there. Amelie spent several months in recovery and had to endure 7 operations to correctly set her bones and repair damaged tissues in her leg. She's recovered to the point that she can walk with crutches now and is even planning on attending college soon. The 10-foot crocodile was not pursued by authorities, and no source I could find discussed its killing by anyone. To my knowledge, the crocodile swam away unhurt, with the possible exception of his bride. Bundu Rafting Company had not had a single serious incident in nearly 30 years of operation, conducting floats 3 times per day. Amelie was so grateful for all the help she received from the local village that she decided to develop a fund sourcing plan to help them construct a school. So far, they've raised 32,000 pounds of their 50,000 pound goal, and the donation link is in the sources link at the bottom of this video article. After examining the facts of this case, I have to wonder, why after thousands of safe rafting trips did this happen to Amelie? Did the rafters do something to instigate the attack, or was it just a random attack from a juvenile crocodile? Do you think she survived because the croc was only 10 feet, or because her friends were so defensive of her? Should the attacking croc be killed after a confrontation like this? Post your comments in the comment section so we can discuss it together. Before we go, I wanted to make sure to tell you that if you join our Patreon program at the link in the video article, you'll receive an ad-free preview link of our next video and all subsequent videos. The minimum you can dedicate is only $1, so that is a tremendous value. There are additional benefits like merch store discounts and gifts you qualify as one of our Patreons as well. Thank you for watching Scary Animal Attacks, and please be careful out there because you do not want to end up on an episode of Scary Animal Attacks.